This story was written with prompts from the Whispers on the Walls solo horror journaling game by Pantheon Games. We are not affiliated or sponsored by that brand for this video. Please keep in mind that all these words were original, including story, concept, and characters. The journaling game provides loose and vague directions in the order of the story. We state these conditions as to not spoil the story with a false sense of originality. This process was incredibly freeing to creativity and details. We also say this as an encouragement to try out this product and make your own story. It might be fun. Now for the story. Investigation report. For the investigation of Amber, Trey, and Misha, belonging to Ophelia. I've known Amber, Trey, and Misha for all my life. We were the closest quadruple friend group from first grade till now. Now is not kind. One by one, they all died. Their deaths left me with a petrified emptiness. The police were no help. Each time their deaths were chalked up to unexpected coincidence. But why them? And why not me? This had to be targeted. I mean, we were essentially four pieces to the same equation. So why us? One by one in the course of a month. I had nothing to lose now, nothing left. This was life. So I needed answers. Closure. Vengeance. I needed to know what it did to them. I needed to know what it was. So now I'm here, broken but assembled in the face of danger. I reside my wretched time, surely to be spent in peril or disappointment, in the supposed location of the crime, the Museum of Fearslop. The Museum of Fearslop is located in the center town of Cherryville, Texas. It's underpaid, overworked, and trapped in the refreshingly youthful age of 1987. It's 2022. The museum houses art of the Fearslop genre, a unique collection of shitty internet horror, just to my liking. We used to love Fearslop before the murders. The walls are built with a crimson red stone, and some say they hold a dark secret. Why am I here? This is where each of my friends were found last before they ended up lifeless in a ditch outside of town. The image haunts me. As I enter the premise, way after closing hour, I have one goal in mind. Find what it did to them. I notice the main challenge as soon as I walk in. Everything in this damn place is infected with mirage. The floors, the desks, and all the displays are coated in false leads. Images of ghosts, horror, and blood spilling large. I needed some sign, a way to discern what's truly wicked from decoration. I called out, "Show yourself, murderous wretch!" Still, nothing commenced. I sat by a wall. I planned to wait for some conviction. Nothing arose. After what seemed to be an hour, it was 5 minutes, I heard something unshaken. A cracked voice spoke truth from the corner beside me.
What you seek does not live where you look. It forms itself in cursed sound.
The ghostly wail erupts, then the floorboards reveal themselves. They creak open and let out a bone, collected from the week before. It's the arm of Trey. At that point, I knew I could trust the walls of observation. They knew more than I did. The truth of what happened to my friends. What I had been seeking all this time. I ponder the message at hand as I traverse the halls and exhibits of this dankly lit museum. Images of faces melting sideways to my left, frames containing dark and grainy sightings of cryptids on my right. Blood on the walls, an illusion? Blood on the floors, an innocent spill? Blood on my shoulder. That's not supposed to be there. My head jolts upward and I yelp. A puddle inverted on the ceiling, made of single droplets of blood, real blood, falling down slowly. They crawl and creak together in an orderly but spiraled fashion, a mass carved in copper scent. It bulges down and forms itself in a pimple-looking half-sphere. I watch in horror as it becomes too big to contain. This was real. This is all real, not a dream sickened by mortifying burdens held throughout the day, not a fantasy of saving my friends for some fucked up closure. No, this was on my skin. It's on my skin. It's on my skin. It falls directly in front of me but stops halfway through. And all before I could move away, I was vexed by a gargantuan sound flying past me. Matter of fact, it landed right in front of me, in the air, right where the blood continued to lay, coating the sound and revealing its ripples and waves. That was it. The blood had trapped a piece of the sound ghost that the voice croaked about earlier, and it was right in front of me. What a revolting disobedience to God and physics and Mother Earth herself. What a disgusting joke to everything every scientist knew across the universe. Nevertheless, it was plain and simply just there. I had to touch it. I touch it. It doesn't move. I almost feel saved. Maybe the ghost, more so a virus, was planning to finish me right then and there. And now I stand in front of its most vulnerable form. I've never touched audio before. I don't think anyone really has. I won't act like I know the science, but this doesn't seem that plausible. Then again, everything has been changing whether I like it or not. I take my fixation off it for a moment and turn to my side. I see the bone to my left and my right. Misha and Amber. The blood has revealed them. And in the middle, just below the sound puddle, a grave. A grave with my name. I had not died, but maybe it wanted me to. And maybe I would. The blood is slowly dissipating across the sound waves, and with that time I must find a way to destroy this wretched thing once and for all. As I ponder the hall for answers, possibly more hints and blood, I see a light form from behind me. No, this can't be right. Nobody's up this late, and all the security guards are off duty. I checked. Whatever it is, they must be here to stop me. But I tried so hard, I really did. Well, I made this mess and now they know. So now I should just turn around and face the consequences. And so I do. And am I surprised there is no dreaded interference I worry about so deeply? No, my plans are set neatly in front of me, unscathed by the adults in the god-abandoned town. Instead, the light comes from the ceiling where the blood fell and broke the wood. And above the gaping hole is a single star, shining diagonally to the floor. There were no stars tonight. It was cloudy and black like every night in Cherryville. This star must have something to say. It starts to burn brighter and brighter and brighter until it hurts deeply to see. I cover my eyes and direct my head away, but through the color of my hands, the light burns brighter. I was now in a ball facing into my chest on the floor with my body tucked into my shirt. It only got more visible. Higher and higher and brighter till what was once a safe space was now burning deadly hot and engulfed in the fiery rage of a sun. I cried. Pathetic. The hole in the ceiling moved in a way that permitted a pattern on the floor, burning into the wood with the deadly bright star. And as it dissipated and the star sunk into space, I slowly got up, the brightness lingering in my eyes still. Fading, I turned around to see what the star had left me. Dotted on the floor, a simple message. Silence. A logical conclusion. If sound is the fire, then silence is the water flowing down the hallways like waves from the deepest seas. But silence is tricky because it barely exists. Sure, in theory it does, but not in a tangible sense. You've never really heard silence because it's nothing to hear. Just like how you've never actually seen nothing, nothing would be actually terrifying, not peaceful. A completely alien concept. You can dream of it all you want, but you'll never truly sit beside it. In that same manner, the question lies, how would I even force silence upon the auditory beast that ruined my life? I must look for clues, and quickly. Time is running out before the audio waves are released to stab right through me. I move past the hall where the wretch resides motionless into the exhibit in front of me. There are paintings of video thumbnails that exclaim how scary the videos at hand are. Too bad me and my friends can't watch them. They're fucking dead. Still, and they always will be. I don't even know how I'd survive without them. If I die tonight, I'm taking it with me. It will not kill again. As I turn, I notice a window. One of the first ones I've seen in a while. It emits a small glow that barely covers the floor in front of it. I look out the broken window and see nothing that excites me. Just a broken town with the three things holding it together. The light is dim, but it grows. It grows bigger without a source to grow from. It makes no sense. But as it grows, I know not to trust any light outside. Not after last time. So I simply leave the room, down the hall, and wait in half silence and motionlessness as the door to the exhibit flames with light. Once it's done, I walk inside to ember and burnt wood. The light's patterns lit itself on fire. The rest of the museum was destroyed with these messes anyways. Just another reason to die here. The fire spells another message, though, one that seems to be crucial. Source. Right. All sound comes from something, but what do I do with that source, and where do I find it? It's too many questions and too little time. I must prevail forward. There's no knowing how much longer before I'm sliced in half by a disc as thin as half the size of paper. Terrifyingly close thought. It would be wiser to find water to put out the fire first. Maybe there I will find answers. Everything else has been relatively smooth sailing so far, excluding the extremely illegal destruction of sacred property. It's not like they would believe me if I told them it was the building doing it to itself to help save me from the curse of an auditory ghost. The only place I could assume had water was a janitor's closet, so I went in that direction. I had been here many times before, with my friends, of course. I know my way around here. Those were the days I will never forget. The absence of them eats at my soul, but also provides raging power and a thirst for the demise of this thing. I reach the closet and open the door. A simple solution lies in front of me. A bucket of water, left from an earlier shift. Now all I needed to do was carry the extremely heavy cargo down a long, winding hallway before the place burned down. Now that I think of it, this wasn't a good idea. I probably could have just pulled the fire alarm and subsequently turned on the sprinklers. But before I could turn away and do that, a door within the closet jolted open and revealed a dark room. It was not big enough to fit through, but it was the size for looking. As I approached the entryway, nearing a crouch but not quite, a hiss emitted from its depths. The hiss smoothly flung itself between my left and right ear before landing in front and through my temple. Then it was gone. It wasn't like a snake, rather artificial, digitally compressed even. My view inside the door was narrow, but what I could make out was striking. Lines across the entirety of the walls and floor and ceiling were connected to the center of the black wall. Lines looked strange, and this is silly and dumb, but they appeared almost to be MIDI notes on a digital audio workspace. I must be going insane. I need sleep. The lines glow from where they connect, but one line is left unlit. I reach for it. Further and further I put my hand in until I am dragged out and the door closes. But before I do, I see a silhouette. A computer. A computer on a desk. That's it. A sound comes from many things. A mouth, a movement, a bulb. It also comes from a speaker from a goddamn computer. The ghost came from there, and now it's my job to eliminate it. How? I don't know. But I need to go quickly. My death awaits. On my way, I pull the fire alarm and the building coats itself in swirling red emergency. If I was to be caught, it would certainly be now. Something in the way everything has been laid out for me so far tells me I'll be fine. I return to the hallway where the creature lays amidst the air. The blood is almost dissipated and set it free. I see the fire wash away in the room to my front, and a door opens from the room to my right. I step inside and look in bittersweet nostalgia, mostly agonizing, painfully bitter grief. Our favorite room is here. It consists of screens scattered across the wall, all playing a mesmerizing loop of extremely unscary TikTok horror. Dumb, I know, but we loved it. When you're whole, it's easier to love the stupid things. But now everything was drenched in seriousness and a bland, monochrome hue. I sit on the floor and watch. It may be unproductive, but I can convince myself it's important. I stare at the bright screens laid across the walls and practically fall asleep. Everything seems simple here. Artificial, but convincingly lifelike. Next to me, I feel droplets of cold creep around my legs and form themselves in front of me. I look down and see a puddle. I hear a soft whimper, almost a cry, muffled under the floorboards. The water, smelling of salt, falls upwards onto the ceiling. The floor was crying. And the saddest part was I understood it. I know what it's like to be stepped on, to be smothered with trash and unforgiving feet wiping their excess onto you. I may not have always known, but I certainly do now. I lay on the floor, not with extreme pressure, more like a hug. I gently pat it until the crying fades away. I stare up at the ceiling and look at the puddle it forms upwards. The tears shaped a scene, something it wanted me to see. I think it relates to me too. That's why this building gives me its secrets, not just to save itself from the ghost, but because it knows me. I stare as the scene unravels. A man at a computer, the head of this museum. He turns on the computer and checks his email. He sees a message from an unknown account.
Who's up on me muck?
Is the address. A link is attached. A video, a song. A simple but creepy song that loops for a while. The man walks away to refill his cup of coffee. The song keeps playing. Then the speakers open up and scream out the audio waves. The song transforms as the curse is converted from digital to physical. The puddle dissipates. It was a goddamn computer virus. I sprint up, treading lightly with my steps to not hurt the floor. With a soft but swift haste, I make my way to the final exhibit. The blood is almost all the way dripped down the monster. I couldn't stop now. I knew what it was. I got this far. I had to kill it, once and for all. For Amber, Trey, and Misha. For what it did to them. The final exhibit contains only text. Several books were lined on podiums across the wall. They hold the worst of the worst creepypastas and 2-sentence horror stories. Absolutely abhorrent reads if you do intend to suffer. Fun, all the same. I focus myself in the middle of the room and close my eyes, ready for the final sign. I hear a siren like a wail, followed by a bassy burst from the hallway. It's almost out. The walls begin to shake and convulse, sending bugs and dust from their insides flying out and across the room. I stay put. The fog becomes unbearable, almost impossible to breathe. As the wails get louder and the red alarms swirl and converse, the fog wistfully reveals a motionful scene. It shows a perspective, shooting down the hallway into the final room, the head office. I sprint in the direction of the office. The sound of the looping song shouts from the ghost. It has been unchained. I run as it chases me and plug my ears. It comes closer and closer until I burst through the office door. I thrust myself onto the computer and grab the speaker, ripping it from its outlet. The walls shake and erupt until the sound falls in front of me. A body assembles from the walls as they cry a painful wail. The body, the virus, is in front of me now. No longer sound, a body. I scream in horror as it stares me down.
You can't just stop the sound, you fool. The true source has already let me out,
it says. Why are you doing this? I scream.
I will destroy them, all of them. I never deserved this, and for that they will pay.
It shrieks. Who are you talking about? I yell, confused.
You were there, weren't you?
It croaks, shaking violently. Then I look at it, really look at it. It all comes back to me now. Me and my friends. We were close, but for reasons I don't like to think about. I try to push it down after it happens, but it just feels so good. We weren't exactly saints. We were kind of, well, bullies. We would abuse all of our peers, using their weaknesses to humiliate them. I always tell myself it's just fun, but that doesn't mean anything. But it creeps up on my darkest dreams. Their cries, their shame, it haunts me. Oh God, what am I? I'm evil. I'm the villain. The person in front of me. He was a nerd, always messing up and tripping on his lack of social skills. We would get him to tell us his deepest secrets by catfishing him as the popular girls. And one day, after we broadcasted it to the whole school, he ran away and never came back. We thought he moved schools. No, he had carved himself into sound to kill all of us, even me. Please, listen to me, I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you, I cry.
Don't be stupid for the sake of saving yourself. You absolutely fucking did mean to hurt me, and now you have to die. Just like how you ruined my life, there's no turning back.
It screams out these words as it picks me up, slowly unhinging its jaw abnormally wide. Please, no. We've already hurt each other enough. This has to end. I beg at him.
You're right. It does have to end.
It says before shouting a sound so horrid that it slices me into pieces. A loud boom followed by a deadly tremolo. It walks over my dead body, split into a million, and puts its hands on the keyboard. It deletes the audio file. The war is done. Nothing remains but the regret and shame that will haunt this ground for years. Lifeless. Desolate. Silent.